actors. It's Wendy Alane Wright, the Hollywood Talent Manager, and last night I sent out an email to all my followers that have given us your email addresses, and I said, hey, what videos do you want me to do next? And I'm like totally blown away by the amount of suggestions. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. There are so many incredible, I'm just going to find a couple. Wendy, I want to hugely thank you for the support you've provided for us actors with videos, not only explaining how to act, but the business of it. You get this a lot with mentions of how much you really help us. I mean, you're great. Thank you. What makes Wendy so great? That's a funny question. I don't know. I'm just really trying to help people. I think if you really care deeply about other people, and my joy comes from helping other people be successful. So I don't know. Thanks for the compliment. He says, I have a massive statement, but how can I not start my statement for showing how grateful I am for you? Oh my God, that's very sweet. I would personally like to see more of a variety of business of acting and how people can choose and have the right preparation for success, like how to find the right agent, headshot, demo reel. I know you've created a number of videos on this, but I'd be really interested in mainly focusing on what's the best tip and what kind of opportunities are the best to focus on to really let your work shine and get noticed. Again, you are loved all over the world. And I thank you for your amazing dedication in training actors. Wow, okay, that really touches me deeply. So thank you, Mark Nemeth, for your kind words. It touches my heart, and I'm really grateful. I would say, like, the best suggestion I can give you is become great at whatever it is you want to do. Your superpower lies in how good at something you become. The better you become at something, the more people want to work with you. So I don't care if it's baseball, basketball, diving, riding a skateboard, ice skating, acting. It doesn't really matter what it is. The best work you can do in that area is what gives you the power to intrigue other people to work with you, to convince other people to hire you. It's not something you can say by words. It's something that, like, your skill level attracts people, your effort, like, how do I say this? The easier something complicated is for you. So, for example, a three-point shot or whatever, in basketball at a time where there's only 14 seconds left in a game, the easier that shot is for you, the more valuable you'll become. So there are people that practice that shot day after day after day after day under pressure, so that when the moment arises, they've done it so many times that they're not hoping for success. They are envisioning it. And there's a follow through, honestly. I mean, I don't play sports, but I understand the concept of you envision the ball going in the basket, and when you're throwing it, you see the ball going down into the basket while you're doing it. Your whole body's committed to that action of it going in there. You're intending it into the, and you do it over and over and over until until most of the time when you make that shot, right? Sometimes you don't, but most of the time when you shoot, you make that shot. And that's how good you have to get at, like, whatever. So if you want to know, like, what's the best way to focus to really let your work shine? Become great at what you want to do. I don't care what it is. Spend hours, years, months training at it, practicing it, working with other people doing it, making mistakes, screwing up, doing it again and again and again until your work is so damn good they can't deny you. As Steve Martin says, be so good they can't deny you. Personally, like, for me, whatever I want to do something that I've never done before, I go down the rabbit hole. I'm telling you, I go down the rabbit hole on the YouTube videos. I love YouTube, by the way. I love YouTube. I love you guys in my YouTube community, and I love YouTube for creating this amazing platform where we can, like, share our lives with other people and impact other people and learn from other people. Oh, I love YouTube. But when I want to learn something new, I start watching YouTube videos from all the people that are doing it. I read books. I get on people's mailing lists so I can get their newsletters to find out, like, what are they talking about? I watch videos. I go to classes. I talk to people doing it. And I go down the rabbit hole for like a year on how to do something. So last year, I decided I wanted to start investing in stocks. I don't know nothing about stocks. And there's a couple things that are, when you start out, there's like, they'll throw you 7,000 pieces of information. You're not going to take all that information in at one time. Just little pieces at a time. I bought a book. Where it is. It's called How to Teach Your Kids to Buy Stocks. Like I said, let me go to kindergarten and get like the kindergarten book. How to teach your kids to buy stocks. I want it to be so simple that even a kid can understand it. The basic elements that they're teaching kids, let me start with that. Before I advance to listening to incredibly successful stockbrokers talk about stocks and it whoosh over my head. So I've been watching videos, reading books and learning, and now I've invested in some stocks and I've made some money, right? It's just exciting. And I'm also getting ready to start buying some more property. I own a house in Connecticut. I've owned a couple houses in Detroit, flipped them, sold them, made a bunch of money. So I'm getting ready to start investing in more property. But I'm not just let me just pick a place and I'll just build there. No, I've gone down the rabbit hole of learning about stock investments. I flew to Texas. I met with my cousin Chelsea. My dog's having a nightmare. Hey. Oh, Himmel have nightmares. I went down to Chelsea. She lives outside of Dallas and she's a real estate agent there. And I took her to lunch and we talked. And then I called her father, who's a real estate investment expert. I mean, he's got like tons of properties. And I met with him in Indiana and we talked about investments. He spent time with me on the phone and we spent an hour. He explained everything he learned about buying properties and why you pick properties and the importance of a property management company and working with like approved vendors and all kinds of stuff I didn't know nothing about. When you're starting something new, there'll be all kinds of questions that you don't even know to ask. Like you don't even know to ask those questions because you don't know anything about it. But once you start getting around that environment, I joined a real estate group and there's something called REITs, which are like their investment. I don't know how to explain it because I'm not an expert yet, but sometimes you can buy like rental properties and those kind of things, apartment complexes, and you buy fractions of those apartment complexes. And then when they make profits, they pay you out of it. So you don't have to buy the entire $5 million complex, but you invest with a bunch of other investors into a group of people that buy the funds. But listen, that buy these properties. But I'm just learning. If you have tips for me about real estate, put them in the chat below. I'll read them. But right now, I'm just going to keep going through all these videos about how, YouTube suggestions. Thank you for the beautiful comments, Mark. Just like become an expert at what you want to be and what you want to do. Become an expert at taking headshots. Become an expert at acting. And that's going to make you stand out above all the people that are going to be too lazy to become an expert. And that's most people. But not my people, right? My people in my community are the best of the best, and I know you're going to be successful. So I'll see you in the next video, and I hope that this was somewhat helpful. I love you guys. Subscribe if you want to keep hearing from me. I love hearing from you. Please ask me any questions you have down below, and I'll see you in the next video.